Sammy, y'all, it's me, your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington, and I am here with my review for Werewolf by Night on Disney+. Now, if you have not seen this yet, I advise you to come on back because there will be spoilers. I've been waiting on this for a minute. I was excited when it was announced because it was like, okay, Marvel Studios is gonna do something different. They're gonna go into horror. And then I couldn't wait till I finally got to see it, and I did. And let me tell you something, for me personally, it did not disappoint. Let me come out the gate and tell y'all this. They said they kept telling you through little snippets they were giving that it was going to give you this vibe of the old school horror movies, that old school Dracula, Frankenstein, monster movie type feel. You know, still have the MCU element, but it's still going to be horror. And you watch this first and foremost. If you haven't seen it yet and you like watching your boy talk about this shit before you see it, I appreciate you. This is something you watch and then you have to find yourself going, wait, Marvel Studios and Disney made this? Because it doesn't, because this shit get violent. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see, you know, we talk about the monsters. We know a lot about the monsters coming. We know that the group of monster hunters are together to hunt something, and we know already it's Man-Thing. But in the beginning, there's certain monsters and creatures now. It is seemingly being teased more and more. I hate I'm saying this shit, that we might get Mephisto somehow, some way. Now, I know I've in several reviews in the past and been like, they won't do it, they can't do it because of China. China will not allow the devil to be portrayed in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And Mephisto was a big part. Again, when it came to WandaVision with her kids, Mephisto is the reason she has the kids. But you get all this together in the very beginning. We know the Avengers exist in this world. They talk about the universe. Now, we know the TVA is involved in this, the Time Variant Authority from Loki. We talk about the Great Timeline, all this shit, universes and all that. So we're part of the giant scheme of things, right? You know that you find out that Ulysses Bloodstone has died, and that there must be a new owner of the Bloodstone. And it would naturally go to Elsa, his daughter, but because she hasn't been around for 20 years, all these other monster hunters, Jack included, have to try to fight for it. And the only way they can get it is they have to destroy a particular monster that we know is Man-Thing. And Verussa, who's like Elsa's stepmom, who's like a horrible woman, has members of the TVA and stuff put the Bloodstone, affix it to Man-Thing. It'll weaken them, but they got to kill him and get the stone. When I tell you they get released one by one into this like giant labyrinth to go find Man-Thing, you're like, oh shit. This one big dude that you would meet early, big Scottish dude with a giant axe, he tries to attack Elsa. And Elsa steals this man's axe and cuts another dude's arm off. Like, people start losing limbs early in this shit. At one point, there's a dude with a crossbow. Again, spoilers. She shoot this motherfucker through the throat. This man is gurgling, dying slow. And while she's hiding out from this other dude, she has to cover his mouth while he's dying. Again, this is some shit you like, yo, Marvel's doing this. At one point, Jack is going around because he's part of the hunters that have to try to hunt Man-Thing and everything. He goes against the wall, Man-Thing grabs him, and then you find out they're actually friends. Because in the comics, they are part of a group together. I had everything together with him and the group that he's part of at one point with the Legion of Monsters. He's a part of the Legion of Monsters with Man-Thing at one point. But find out, he was like, yo, I told you not to get caught, and now I got to come save you. So he's like, does it hurt? Talking about the Bloodstone, and it's making him weak. Dude, we get a point where Man-Thing actually crushes and disintegrates a dude. Like, you see his ability, and it ain't even full strength at first. Like, he's a friend, and according to Jack, he's like family. I really don't want to spoil this. I really don't want to spoil this because I feel like I don't want to fully get into a lot of this because, and I know some people are going to be upset because they're like, yo, what am I watching this for? Because I want everybody to get their own feel for this. The way I know there are going to be some people who are probably going to complain about how Jack looks as a werewolf, but I don't think you should, given the theme of what this is supposed to be and what he does. When I tell you, when Jack changes and how much he fucks people up, it is ridiculous. It is violent. It is lucky. It is. I think the reason they were able to get away with a lot of the violence that we're gonna see, that you see in this, is because it's done in black and white, grayscale, if you will. Because of that, you can have the blood splatters and don't see the blood. It's always been this thing in TV and film where if you don't see the color red, it's okay to do it. So that's how come you see a lot of the gruesome deaths, the dismemberments, and things like that you're going to see in this. Laura Donnelly as Elsa Bloodstone is fucking amazing. She's a badass. Like, if you know of her story in the comics, she's a member of the Midnight Suns. Now, why is that a big thing? Who are members of the Midnight Suns? Moon Knight, Blade, Dane Whitman, Ghost Rider. She becomes a member of that. We have 4 of those members that I just mentioned. We have a Dane Whitman, we have Moon Knight, we have Blade. Yeah, we don't have a Ghost Rider yet. But 3 of those members, 3 out of 4. We don't have a Ghost Rider as of yet. But again, we're building up to this giant Secret Wars thing. The Blood Gem, the Bloodstone, whichever one you call it, is actually part of Kree. It's from the Kree. It's said to be of alien things, part of the life tree and whatnot. Things that even include the Nexus, the ether, other different things, other different elements all around. This may seem self-contained as part of, because that's been one of the big things. If you follow any of the reviews I do, talk about how a lot of people are like, well, this don't make sense. Everything's not connected. It's not going together. And again, people forget Kevin Feige said it's a multiversal saga. So there are different things going on in different worlds. Even the beginning of this talks about in the universe. Granted, yes, the original 6 are mentioned, but to use the term universe is letting you know we're talking about various multiverses. What else do I want to? I'm looking at some of the notes that I have. There's a lot you see with Elsa, how she didn't really want to be back. She was trying to stay away from. She didn't want to be a part of that, but she knew she needed to get the Bloodstone to basically stop what could be done with it. And you see how powerful it is, because at one point, as we see in the trailer, we know that Jack's in the cage with Elsa. We've seen that in the trailers and everything. We know that he changes in the cage. What you don't see, and this is a little bit of spoiler, the Bloodstone, is Blood Gem in the comics. So if you hear me say an interchange between the two, in the Werewolf by Night comics, in the Elsa Bloodstone, everything, it's called the Blood Gem. Here it's just specifically called the Bloodstone. Jack talks about how he won't change for another 5 days for the full moon. He knows he has safety measures in place so that when he changes, he doesn't go out, etc., to make sure he's good. Elsa tells him, you talking about 5 days, the Blood Gem will change you in 5 seconds. That's what is powerful to do, and you see how powerful it is. Self-contained in the 1 hour. My review of this is not a full breakdown like I do normal episodes. I'll say that. Normal shows, movies, etc. What I'll say is this is a part of everything going forward. One of the creatures is a vampire-like creature. I want you, in the very beginning, you got to pay attention to a lot of things, like a lot of Latin that is written in a lot of things, because of course when monsters and horror, Latin is a big thing for some freaking reason. But one of the things in the beginning says monstrum laudum de virtute et pietate efficacitur. Basically, I'm saying my Latin sounds horrible. It translates to a winged monster effectively and completely corrupted by virtue and piety. The monster you look at is almost like Dracula, like a vampire. A winged monster? Or, again, Could this, we know Mephisto doesn't have wings. Could this be a way they're going to use it? Could they be switching his origin to make him, yes, he's the devil, but could they make him more vampiric, whatever the case? But we're getting monsters now. We have the extraterrestrial bad guys. We have the regular super villains. Now we're getting monsters. We already know we're getting vampires. We're getting Blade. We already know that. Even though it's going to be hella delayed because they got to get a new director. They were doing some rewrites on the script. So Blade might not come out next year when it's supposed to. That's another story. With this, I feel like it is not for everybody. It is absolutely not for everybody. Do not go into this thinking that everybody's going to like this or everybody's going to hate this. It is not. It is, for lack of better words, an acquired taste. But I think this, if you have the open mind, as I believe you should with this, you will see everything. And I'm trying to save some of the best stuff for you to watch it. If you've watched some reviews where I've done where I'm trying to hold back on stuff, it's kind of difficult. The Man-Thing, Werewolf by Night relationship in this is arguably the greatest thing ever. Because there's something about Man-Thing you will find out and you are going to laugh your ass off. I damn near promise you will laugh your ass off. I'm going to make this short, sweet, and to the point. This is 52, 53 minutes. If I got to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, I'm a horror movie fan. It is Halloween season. This gave me what I wanted. This gave me my Marvel. This gave me my horror. This gave me action. This gave me shit I didn't expect. I'm giving it a 5. Again, that's my personal. I make sure I always say this. Whether it be myself doing reviews, a film pundit, film critic, no matter what. When anyone gives these reviews, these are our opinions. Yes, a lot of you all trust us. A lot of y'all fuck with your boy. And you rock with me heavily to where you like, okay, if Jay says this, then it must be that. And I appreciate it. And I'm grateful. But no matter what, I always still want you to make your own opinion of it. Come to your own conclusion. You may not understand it, so therefore your same feeling may not be the same as I. Again, if you've read the internet, people freaked out when we found out we were getting Man-Thing. That was the number one thing we freaked out over. And by the way, Man-Thing looks good. Man-Thing is practical. Yeah, there's certain things that are like CGI and visual effects, but Man-Thing is practical. And Man-Thing is a practical thing, looks fucking amazing. It's just so much in this in a short amount of time. And I want you all to enjoy it. So I'm going to cut this short. But if you've seen it, I want to know your thoughts below. Again, I'm holding back. I am definitely holding back. I'm being honest. Y'all already know the drill. Let's do it down below. Let me know. As always, keep it civil. We're talking about comic book movies, y'all. It's about a fucking werewolf. Werewolves aren't real, I don't think. We just know hairy-ass people in this world. I don't think they werewolves. I don't think they get hairy during full moons. It's just genetically, they're hairy. Man-Thing isn't real. There's a lot of swampy-ass dudes out here, but they ain't that. All right, so let's keep it civil for real. Follow your boy on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Mr. J Washington, MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington. The Mad Titan Podcast. Everywhere I get you caught up, everywhere you get your podcast from, get you caught up on all the things happening. The Marvel and DC live action cinematic universes. It is Barbershop Talk for Nerds. Come on in the convo. Check out me and the homie BC who hosts the show with me. American Gigolo on Showtime. Right now, when you see this, episode 5 will be out. Again, the story of Julian K moving forward is going on. Luther, my character, who was last seen in episode 3, 2 and 3, he will be back in episode 8. But I still say go watch the show. It is a great show. It is a dope-ass story. You are going to love it. Trust me. Your boy is a recurring character on a TV show. And I'm still broke. So if you want to show love, the super thanks is down below. Believe me, it means the world. I will holler at y'all for the next one. Take care. I'm out. Bye.